Hey lovelies, you're welcome back to Reviews and Recaps. Let's get into today's video. Today we're going to be talking about Martell Holt and everything that has happened over the weekend in relation to him responding to the abuse allegations and so much more. If you're new to this channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to like, share and leave a comment below. Now let's get into today's video. So last week I did a video talking about the court documents and the allegation which involved abuse towards his children allegedly, and allegedly Paris, who is arionnecurry's daughter, has been bullying the M&M children as well. So there were allegations in relation to that as well. Now, of course, towards the end of that video, I also talked about what Martell filed in response to those allegations. So after this video, please go ahead and watch those videos if you missed any of them. Now, let's talk about him going live. So Martell went live on Saturday to talk about the abuse allegations. And interestingly enough, he was out with the children, addressing allegations about the children. That is like the first issue, but we'll talk about it in a second. Let me just cover what was said first, and then we'll talk about it. So he basically had all of the children there, and they were basically having fun, like what looks like a park. He basically said, like, you know, he had to address certain things, and that he had never abused the children. He did say that he had spanked the kids in the past, yes, but he has not spanked them for some time now. What I thought was interesting is, if someone says, I've not spanked my kids for some time now, why not say I've not spanked my kids since that thing was filed or since before? Like, you can qualify it. You know, when the allegations were made in court, why didn't you qualify it? You kept it vague by saying some time now. Some time now could have been 3 weeks ago, could have been last week. So when people say some time ago, without qualifying it, when they know that they've done it in the past, it just gives like someone is trying to not speak the truth or trying to avoid accountability for something that they've done. Now, it could be like he said, he no longer does this, but when did that stop? Right? These are the things that we want to know. You can't just keep things all out and just say like, oh yeah, some time ago is not good enough in my opinion. Now, he did talk about like he hasn't spanked them in some time, and it feels like he's not going to let anyone destroy his name. I'm like, dude, you've done that all by yourself. By all of the things that you've actually done. Like, people don't need to destroy your name. You've destroyed your name by yourself, in my opinion. You've done that with the revenge piece situation. You've done that with all of the things that we've seen you do on the TV show, including getting in women's faces. You did that. No one had to concoct any sort of rumors against you about that. And even if we consider this whole spanking or whatever you want to call it, Mr. Martell, the truth is you physically touched the children and you have acknowledged that you have spanked them, right? But you're saying you haven't done that in a while. But with the examples that were being given in the court record, it's like those are like really extreme examples. That was beyond spanking. And so for me, I'm like, why did they need to say for the father's edification that includes this? These were very, very specific allegations that were made against you. And I also noticed that he stayed away from saying anything about therapy and whether or not he has been going into therapy with his son, Martell. He said nothing about it. And so to me, I'm just like, okay, isn't that like a very crucial point you would want to address? I'm surprised not surprised, but why wouldn't you address it if you want to deny everything else? Like, a good question would be, when was the last time he went to therapy with his son, Martell? When was that last time he did that? Did he stop it according to the papers, court documents that leaked, right? Did he stop it, or did he continue to go to, or is he still in it, right? So I'm just like, the fact that you want to cover everything else, but you don't want to cover that, and you want to be selective in what you cover is ridiculous to me. And I will say that, and I stand by that. Of course, he went on to try to give us the good father speech. He said he puts a lot of effort in when it comes to the children, and that he does his daughter's hair, and he's very involved in the children's lives. and he feels like when the TV show is like around the time it's meant to air, a lot of stupid allegations come out. I'm like, okay, all of these stupid allegations, like you call them, are they the truth? Did they happen? Like, let's take each allegations one after the other. That's what I want to see. Let's take it one after the other. Did you or did you not stop therapy? Did you or did you not do this? That is what I would like out of the situation. Don't just give us like a very vague answer and be like one covers it all. No, it does not, sir. He also talks about like how the heck did he become abusive just because they are divorced. He's never been abusive, and that if anything, he had been abused by his ex, melodyshari. Now, let's be clear, right? He's saying he's never been abusive, but we have seen him. What do you call coming in someone's face, right? Coming close to somebody's face. Is that abusive or is that not? What do you call trying to release revenge pee on somebody? Is that abusive or is that not? You keep saying statements like you've never been abusive, like abuse only means that it has to have been physical. I feel like he knows better than that, but he's going to continue to play these stupid games where he acts like, oh, because he has not allegedly physically touched Melody, that means that he was never abusive. There are lots and lots of different types of abuse. There's financial abuse, there's physical, there is emotional. There are so many different types. And so for somebody to just be like, oh, never been abusive, but then we've seen him do things that are abusive is a joke to me. He said he's tired of seeing single women out there making it seem like being single is cute. I'm like, what is wrong with being single, sir? Maybe if you had learned how to be single, you wouldn't be out here itched to arionnecurry all the time. Maybe if you just learn how to be by yourself, you wouldn't be sliding in to call Sheree Mrs. Holt. He then also talked about the fact that he feels like Melody is trying to get full custody of the kids and he's wondering why. Are you dumb, sir? What do you mean you're wondering why? Wasn't there a point where you applied for full custody? Should we have asked you why you applied for full custody? The same way she has a reason, which she set out in that document, is the same way you claim you had a reason, which you set out at the time and said 21 babysitters or whatever it is that he said at the time. And so let's not act like she's not well within her rights to make an application to the court for full custody if that is what she wants. He also talks about being accused by someone trying to get a storyline. I'm like, honestly, without you, she will have a storyline. So cut it out, sir. You're the one that does not have a storyline outside of her and never has. So let's cut it out with that. He also said he asked people to look at the court documents because he says that the allegations had to be dropped because they were not substantial. Here's the thing. Say what you want about that, but a court order was made which specifically said for the father's edification, this should not be done to the children. So say what you want. They must have thought there was some merit to that, to have a court order in there saying for the father's edification. Sorry, guys, my brother is in the background and he's so loud. So apologies if you guys can hear it, but I think he just left the house. So sorry about that. So my thing is, he's acting like, oh, when they look at the court documents, they will see something else, right? He's like, oh, they were not substantiated, as in the accusations were not substantial. He has never left any mark on the children. Here's the thing. First, I don't believe that. But even if he's saying he's never left a mark on the children, just because you've never left a mark on somebody does not mean that you have not abused them. I've been slapped in the past where I felt like I couldn't hear for like a few minutes. Like my ears were ringing. Someone would now say, oh, it didn't leave a mark. But I couldn't hear for a while. Just because it's not a visible mark does not mean that the impact isn't there. And also doesn't mean that there isn't an emotional impact as well. And it is absolutely ridiculous for him to try to say that and be like, oh, I've not left a mark. Just because you have not left a physical mark does not mean that the impact is not going to be felt by the children for years to come. This is not something that would shape their childhood. Like, people need to be aware of, just because you physically don't leave a mark, not that I believe him, but if we're going to go with what he has said, just because you physically did not leave a mark does not necessarily mean that that is not going to have an impact or that did not hurt them physically. in a way that is significant. Let's not act like we forgot the video when he was asking them if they want the belt, I believe, and one of the kids burst into tears. If they were not scared of you potentially whooping their asses, nobody would be crying. Everyone would be like, no, we don't want it, Daddy, and everyone would be laughing. Daddy, I know Daddy's not going to do that to us, but that's not what was said. So let's not act like you're a saint and you've not done anything that was warranted what was in the court documentation. Anyways, that is all I want to talk to you guys about today. Let me know in the comment section below what you guys think. Don't forget to like, share, hit that subscribe button, and let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Thank you. Bye.